In this video, I'm going to be going over the 10 best drills to improve your full approach in the javelin throw.
That's what we're talking about! Let's go!
The first step in establishing a better approach is to improve our rhythm, okay? And you need to be able to walk before you can run. So before we try to start all the way at the back of the runway and sprint full speed and put out a monster throw, we need to make sure that we can walk through our crossovers and be in the right posture and in the right positions in order to produce a big throw like that. So the first thing we're going to do is start with walking crossovers. So we're going to keep the javelin tip right here on our eyebrow, our throwing hand nice and high in the back, nice and level. Our block arm is going to be up and out in front of us, and then we are going to get high knees and we're just going to walk. Okay, a big key here is making sure that we're not leaning back, that we're not looking at the javelin tip like this. We want to make sure that we're staying tall, that our eyes are facing forward, and we're getting our knees up. And we're staying on the balls of our feet the entire time. Once we establish those walking crossovers, we're going to transition into walking drawbacks. We are going to practice drawing back from the running steps, but we're going to stay at a walking pace. So as a right-handed thrower, what I want to do is I want to count out 3 left steps. And on that 3rd left step, I'm going to draw back the right hand. Back into the running steps, 2, 3, draw back, walking crossovers, and then we're done, okay? So we're gonna be walking continuously, doing that 3 times. The importance of all these drills is so that they build on top of each other. So we're not losing sight of the technical foundation that we set in the walking crossovers, but we're adding on to that. So when we draw back, we still have the javelin tip on our eyebrow, right hand up nice and level, chest tall, left arm, block arm out in front of us, and knees high. The next drill we're going to do is called small bouncy crossovers. So as you may have seen some of my other videos on how to improve your crossovers, a big aspect that we utilize is the pogo hops or barefoot hops so that we're staying on the balls of our feet and building the elasticity in our Achilles tendon, our calves, the arches of our feet, so that our approach can be nice and bouncy. So now we're going to transition from the walking crossovers to small bouncy crossovers, and it's going to be key that we're staying up on the balls of our feet. That's how we're going to be doing it in the full approach anyway. Okay, so we're going to start in the crossover position, sideways. We are not crossing our right over to our left just yet, but we're starting here with this bouncy rhythm. And as we're establishing this rhythm here, we want to make sure that we're staying nice and tall with the chest, keeping our right arm up, keeping our block arm out in front of us, keeping our eyes downfield, down the runway, looking out to the sector, and we're making sure our posture is staying nice and tall. Continuing on the progression of staying on the balls of our feet, getting nice and bouncy, the next one we are going to do is straight leg crossovers. So these are going to be similar to those straight leg bounds that you guys have seen in the physical preparation approach video that I made. And so what we're going to be doing now is we're going to be kicking up our left foot and then sweeping through with our right. So now we're kind of doing this scissoring action with the feet and staying on the balls of our feet. So we're practicing that idea of kind of pulling down with the left foot and then sweeping through with the right and getting that scissoring motion down the runway. The next drill we're going to do is called the A-skip crossover drill. So what we're gonna do now is continuing to establish that bounce and that rhythm, staying on the balls of our feet. Stay with the same theme of keeping the chest nice and tall, keeping the arm up in the back, keeping the javelin tip on your eyebrow, but now we're going up and bounce. So we're establishing this rhythm here. Okay, so it's basically like getting our knees up nice and high, but we're doing a double bounce on the bottom. Something that we need to keep in mind is the block side arm during the crossover. So not a lot of young throwers know this, but we need to make sure that when our knees are up, our left arm or our block arm is working in sync with our knees. Okay, so as a right-handed thrower, when my left leg is up, my left arm is out in front of me. When my right leg is up, my left arm comes across. It's very similar to running. When we're running and we're going opposite arm, opposite leg, we need to make sure that we're doing that same pattern with the javelin of the left arm helping us get down the runway and working in sync with our legs. So left knee, right knee, left knee, right knee. We need to be going clockwise around in order to set ourselves up and get that speed down the runway. The next drill we are going to do is continuing to establish speed and rhythm, getting closer to what an actual full approach would look like as we're progressing through these drills. So now we're going to do basically the same thing as the A skip, but instead of the double bounce at the bottom, we're going to do high knees just continuously. Same concept here, keeping the chest nice and tall, keeping the arm up in the back, keeping the javelin tip on your eyebrow, high knees. All right, so here is where we start getting a little bit more advanced. We are going to be doing backwards into forwards crossovers. So as a coach, this is just a really good telltale sign to me to see where your rhythm is at, how advanced you are, and if you're able to do complex movements throughout the approach. So with the backwards crossovers, what we're gonna do is, if we're a right-handed thrower, we're gonna have our right arm back, left leg is going to come over, 1, 2, and then 3. After it comes over to the third time, we're gonna stick our right foot into the ground, and that's where we're gonna pivot open. The next drill we are going to do is going to be solely focusing on our running steps. So when we're at the back of the runway and we're holding the javelin up like this, those running steps is what's happening before we go into the transition phase, into the crossovers. We're gonna keep our chest up and we're gonna get our knees high. So we focus on running forward without leaning forward, okay? Because a big problem that a lot of people have is they come out of the back and they lean forward down like this. And then when they draw back, they have to overcorrect themselves. We wanna start high and stay high so that when we go into that transition phase, stay tall through the crossovers and through the end of the throw. Javelin up, high knees, and then just run forward. All right, the next drill we are going to do is band resisted crossovers. So what Nevin's gonna do here is, he's gonna give me this band. I'm gonna put it around my waist, and then he's gonna pull me back while I do crossovers down the runway. So this is gonna be really good practice for me to stay nice and tall, for me to drive my left foot forward and my left knee forward, and to bring my right across my body and really drive down the runway. Oh, the last drill we have of the day is called an overspeed full approach. So what that's gonna mean is we're gonna run through this full approach faster than what we would do in the competition, or faster than what we're comfortable throwing out of. That way, when we do go to throw out of it, that speed feels a lot slower and a lot more manageable than what we're gonna be practicing right here. There you have it. Those are my top 10 favorite drills to improve your full approach in the javelin throw. And remember, relaxed is smooth, smooth is fast.
That's what we're talking about.